Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar on Seqrite BCS, that's Business Critical Services, the proactive and customized support for business enterprise. My name is Nikhil and I welcome you all to today's webinar. The speaker for today's webinar is Mr. Rahul Sharma. Rahul heads the Business Critical Services team at Seqrite. He has an expertise in managing customer expectations in the context with business continuity in the ever-changing dynamics of security criticality and high-pressure environments for enterprise business critical customers and has demonstrated ability to gain customer trust through efficient service delivery. He has a solid experience in the areas of premium service delivery, service offerings, and customer relationship management. Rahul, as a person, is an explorer and likes visiting new places along with listening to new genres of music. He specifically developed a taste for country music. Before I pass on the mic to Rahul, a few ground rules that I would like to lay regarding today's webinar. In case you have any questions for the webinar, you can keep a note of the slide number and you can ask us in the chat window. At the end of the presentation, Rahul and I will try our best to answer all your queries relating to Seqrite Business Critical Services. In case you have queries for later, you can email us at bcs@seqrite.com. I will repeat the email address on which you can share your queries. It is BCS, that's Business Critical Services, at seqrite.com. Without any further ado, now handing over the mic to Rahul.
Thank you, Nikhil, for that warm introduction. And good afternoon to everyone who have joined this webinar. I hope I'm audible. Okay. So the topic for today's webinar is Seqrite, BCS, proactive and customized support for business enterprises. Now BCS stands for Business Critical Services. What are we going to cover in today's webinar? So the agenda for today's webinar is we'll see what Seqrite Business Critical Services are. We'll see a quick overview on technical support front. We'll review what are the benefits of investing into Seqrite Business Critical Services. We'll see what are the SLA or SLG goals for business critical customer. We'll see how escalation management is tackled under BCS. We'll review what constitutes a BCS accounts team. And finally, we'll see what are the return on investments and value drivers for business critical services. So, business critical services is our highest level of protection, which is designed to simplify post-sales support by providing personalized and proactive support from technical experts for enterprises or companies that require secure and uninterrupted access to their data and applications. BCS service delivers more than just a break fix on your issue reported by you. Once you sign up for business critical services, your product specific technical service is delivered by a technical account manager who understands your business needs. Technical account manager is exclusive only to BCS customers and is further backed up by a team of advanced incident response engineers who are part of the R&D function. This enables rapid issue diagnosis and quicker problem resolution. So this team basically looks into only business critical services customer and all the queries and responses to them. Technical account manager performs periodic account reviews and strategic account planning. Now, depending on what contract you sign up with BCS, your technical account manager will be on site with you. It would be either quarterly or half yearly to sit with you and discuss what are the strategic plannings or what are you going to deploy in your environment or infrastructure 3 months, 4 months, 6 months down the line. He'll sit with you and he'll ensure that your risks are mitigated. This will improve the stability and reliability of your IT infrastructure. Now let us review how technical support functions. So if you are a normal customer, you can see this pyramid. So the last three levels, which is the level 1, the level 2 block, and the core support. This constitutes our technical support team. So if you're a normal customer, you pick up the phone or you log a case through web or chat, your case is logged at the L1, which is level 1 support team. They basically verify your entitlement. They perform basic troubleshooting. If they're not able to resolve the issue, they would further escalate it to the L2 support team. The next block, the L2 support folks, they work on L1 escalated cases. They provide resolution, or in case the case needs further handling, they would escalate the case to the core support team. Our core support engineers would research on all possible scenarios. They would try to provide the solution, or if it is something which is related to software side of things, they would escalate it to the IRT team. Now the first two blocks, which is the engineering, the BCS and the IRT function, this constitutes our research and development team. So if you are a business critical customer, you directly enter at the R&D function. The reason for this arrangement is basically to provide speedy resolution to our customers who cannot afford much of downtime. Now let's talk about an issue which is recent vulnerability that has been found, critical vulnerability that has been found in Adobe, which is affecting Windows, Mac, and Linux systems. If this vulnerability, if successful exploitation of this could cause a crash and potentially allow an attacker to take control of the affected system. Now, if you're a BCS customer, our priority alert notification will proactively update you on all such security issues and concerns, and further recommend the steps that are needed to be taken in advance. However, in a situation where, let's say, this has already affected some of the systems in your environment, our BCS unit has the experience, the tools, and the expertise to take necessary and immediate action against such exploits in order to keep your IT infrastructure protected. Now, let me give a non-technical example for this. Let's say you are a bank. Now, a lot of people put their money and valuables in a bank. Now, it is very important for a bank to install a CCTV camera to ensure everything that is happening is recorded. Let's say there is some theft, or there is some wrongdoing that is happening, which the bank understands later, they can go and review it. However, they also keep a security guard with a gun to take necessary steps during an actual disaster. Now, in IT security scenario, our business critical services is that security guard with a gun who has all the tools, knowledge, and expertise to manage all the complex situations that arises in your infrastructure on a day-to-day basis. So what are the benefits of business critical services? So there are broadly, the benefits are classified under three categories. One is the personal benefit, one is the proactive benefit, and the third one is a responsive benefit. As part of the personal benefit, once you sign up for business critical services, you are assigned a technical account manager who is your single point of contact for any and every requirement and is available 24/7 by 365. So even if your issue is an issue is reported at night 1 a.m., all you need to do is you need to pick up the phone, dial into your technical account manager, and we would start the troubleshooting right then. Technical account manager will also arrange proactive services to help tune your or optimize your customer deployment. So we reviewed that business critical services is more than just a break fix. Rather, apart from break fix, we would also help tune or optimize your environment. The technical account manager will provide regular reporting. He'll take ownership of the escalations and meetings regularly on a regular basis. Let us review what are proactive benefits of business critical services. So I discussed, you'll have periodic account reviews. On a quarterly basis, the technical account manager will come on site, sit with your team, sit with your IT infrastructure, IT security team, and give them a status of what all things have been done in the last 3 months. What were the critical cases that were opened? What troubleshooting was exactly done to mitigate those risks? And further discuss with what are the plans that would come in the next 3 months. So it is sort of a security planning. Apart from that, this is one of our very famous service, which is known as the total assurance service, which includes configuration and environmental health checkup. Total assurance service is basically where we would review your environment, we will run a couple of tools in your environment to fetch some data, and finally, after the end of the total assurance service, we will give you a comprehensive PDF report, which would be almost 30-40 pages report, which would say we have reviewed these many parameters in your environment or your infrastructure, and some of them are right, or and if they are not right or the parameters are not correct, we would give our recommended steps to ensure you have all the best practices in your environment. Upgrade assistance. Let's say you want to upgrade from one version to another version. All you need to do is you need to contact your technical account manager. He will design and develop pre-upgrade, during the upgrade, and post-upgrade steps for you to ensure the upgrade goes seamless. Disaster recovery planning and testing review. Now we hear about disaster recovery, but the fact is a lot of our customers do not have DR setup. We have the expertise in-house to create a DR for you. We'll ensure, we'll give you all the requirements in terms of what hardware do we need, what OS, what applications do you need to install, and we'll set up a DR so that in case of disaster, and we'll test that failover as well, so that in case of disaster you are up and running. Knowledge transfer and customized TOI. So let's say a couple of your folks are working on Seqrite product that you have purchased from Quick Heal. However, they are not trained, or they do not know day-to-day management of that software or of that application. So we would ensure that we give all the basics and all the application related details to your staff, so that they're well equipped to take necessary action during day-to-day activity. Let's review responsive benefits. So we have our highest response service level goals. We'll be discussing in a couple of slides as to what are our service level goals. On-site technical assistance during emergency situation. So let's say something goes drastically wrong and you need your technical account manager to be on site. We will ensure your technical account manager is on site sitting with you to resolve that problem. Until and unless it is resolved, we'll give you that assurance that yes, someone is there sitting with you to tackle that program. At the same time, since the technical account manager is part of the research and development unit, he has better relationship with higher ups in the organization to ensure we give you a speedy resolution during a disaster. And finally, your technical account manager is your trusted security advisor. So this is a pictorial representation of what technical account manager does. He is an assigned technical resource who is exclusive only to BCS customer. He has technology specific single point of contact and to manage any and every support experiences post sales. He is the one who will provide you proactive and reactive services. It's very important to know he is a shared resource who is also assigned to other BCS accounts only. And when I say 7:1 TAM coverage, one technical account manager will only handle 7 BCS customers. So we want him to be free whenever he needs to take action in those accounts. We don't want him to be stuck with n number of accounts. What will be the deliverables once you sign up for BCS? So your technical account manager is single point of contact. He is your trusted security advisor and your true customer advocate for any and every technical, non-technical assistance post sales. Let's say you want to raise some sort of enhancement request. Normally how it happens is, you put it on a portal, the product manager will go and review it, and depending on their priority, they will either decide to include this in the next build, or maybe park it till most of the customers are asking for it. But if you're a BCS customer, we give you that privilege that if you have a request for enhancement, it is taken care at the highest possible level, and we'll give you a timeline for that. TAM is also responsible for alert notification, response and escalation management for all critical support cases. I just mentioned about the Adobe vulnerability. So there is one more which is recently making up rounds, which is ransomware issue in JavaScript, ransom 32. So if there are something critical vulnerabilities that come in, he has the first point information, and he would be sharing that information ASAP to the customer. He'll also ensure he calls up the system admin guy and discusses all the steps that needs to be taken for such critical vulnerabilities. Apart from that, he will also be sharing you a security bulletin on a monthly basis, which will have all the fixes, all the patches that are required to be installed in specific to your infrastructure. He'll align Seqrite efforts with projects to help meet your customer objectives or your objectives. He'll provide quarterly or half yearly performance metrics depending on your contract. So he'll give you what are the values that BCS has added, what all things can we do for you. He'll be completely aligned with your goals. He'll host regular meetings to review case status and customer projects. Now, on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis, depending on, you can set up a frequency with your technical account manager. You can have a conference call where you will discuss each and every case, whether it's a high critical severity 1 case or it's a low severity 4 case. But he will be discussing all the cases that you have opened in your account under BCS. He'll also facilitate on-site resources for proactive and reactive technical services. Now, let's review what are the service level goals for BCS customer. So I just want to stop for a minute here and say that we follow service level goals and not SLA. SLA is something that is binding. It's a legal contract which is binding for service providers or a third party company. Since we are a product based company, we follow SLG, which is service level goals. These are the goals and guidelines which are binding on us to provide you or to respond to your request within stated time. So let's say if it is a severity 1 issue, it's a system down or product is inoperative condition which impacts your business, our target response time will be within 15 minutes, and you can time that. What could be an example of a Sev 1 case? So I said about the recent ransom 32 ransomware issue. So this is the first ransomware which is written in JavaScript. So this ransomware basically encrypts the complete data, leading to a data loss on the affected client, and this can also spread in the entire network. Now such an issue qualifies for a Sev 1 issue or a severity 1 issue, and our BCS response time will be 15 minutes. Sev 2 issue, which is a critical issue which severely affects or restricts major functionality. An example of severity 2 issue can be of system which is affected with, let's say, networm kiddo or iworm kiddo. So if a system is affected with this, all it does is it tries to attack the network host via TCP port 445 or 139. This may not lead to any data loss. However, it may slow down the network to a huge extent. And in such cases, our response time will be 2 hours. Severity 3 issue, which is issue with no major effect on business systems. An example of Sev 3 issue can be, let's say if a user unknowingly installs PUA. PUA is basically potentially unwanted application. This degrades the individual system performance. So they are not malicious, but they may be unsuitable for use in business environment. So our target response time for such cases will be within 6 hours. And Sev 4 issues are sort of how to questions. How do I do this? What is the analysis of this? How does this functionality work? How does this product work? That qualifies for a Sev 4 issue, and our target response time will be within next business day or 24 hours, 24 working hours. Escalation management. Now, while we strive to provide you the best of breed support, we discussed your cases will be logged in with the R&D unit. We are giving you all sort of highest level protection. However, still in some cases or occasionally an escalation may be required. Escalation can be political in nature. Let's say one user is affected, may not qualify for an escalation, but one user affected who is the CEO of the company or contract signing authority, does qualify it for an escalation. So your technical account manager will assist in engaging all the required technical resources and ensure appropriate management visibility and transparency to your issue. You can notify your time of any management reporting requirement. He will ensure that whatever is happening on your case, whatever is the plan of action, where it is currently in the organization, where currently, who's working, who's doing what, he'll be keeping you completely updated at all times. Escalations can be initiated by anyone. It can be initiated by customer. It can be initiated by a technical support engineer. It can be initiated by technical account manager, or we are giving you additional level of assurance, which is we will be giving you the direct details of the BCS Global Escalation Manager. You can reach out to your Global Escalation Manager anytime. The BCS Global Escalation Manager reports to the CTO of the organization. So you have that assurance that things will be taken care at the highest possible level. What constitutes a BCS accounts team? Now, we told you, excuse me, we mentioned that you'll have a technical account manager who's available 24/7, 365. However, there can be situations where you're trying to call your technical account manager. However, he's on a different call, or he's engaged with some other customer. It can be possible. So what we do is, once you sign up for business critical services, you get the name, email address, and mobile number of your technical account manager. Apart from that, you get a name, email address, telephone number of your direct backup technical account manager. Apart from that, you have the details of your sales account manager. I informed you about BCS Escalation Manager. You get the name, telephone number, direct mobile number to contact your BCS Escalation Manager, and we give you the email address and direct telephone number of sales country director. So these, the bottom two, the sales escalation, the BCS escalation manager, and the sales country director, one reports into the CTO, one reports into the CEO. So be rest assured, if there is anything that you need to report it to them, that will be handled under the umbrella of BCS in no time. Excuse me. Let us review what are the return on investments and value drivers for investing in BCS. So once you invest in BCS, this enables better use of your IT staff time by allowing them to focus on strategic projects instead of problem resolution. This leads to increased productivity. We do not want your staff to sit on the phone, or to wait for a response from support team, where the case is, what the case is. You have your single point of contact. Your technical account manager is more than happy to assist you, to provide you resolution, to give you an update whenever that is required. Your staff can work on the projects that are more important to them. Proactive security planning and reduce risk through our list of proactive services, which are tailored to meet your organizational objectives. So we'll be doing that security planning with you. As we discussed, that will be done on a quarterly or half yearly basis. Once you sign up for BCS, this leads to minimizing the downtime by identifying potential issues before they impact performance. So I just want to give an example. We had a customer, a BCS customer, and he had reported that installing of clients is taking huge amount of time. It's taking more than 5 hours, 6 hours, and at the end of the day, some of them get installed and some of them do not. Now, since he was a BCS customer, there were workarounds to go across this and install the clients. But what we did was, we wanted to identify what exactly is happening in that in that scenario. So we asked for a lot of logs. We asked for firewall logs. We asked for network logs. We ran something known as Wireshark logs. We got those logs to identify, and finally, after doing deep dive into that into those logs, we understood that it is an issue with firewall. We worked with the firewall vendor. We discussed all the things and settings with them. And once the firewall issue was corrected, it not only resolved our issue of installing the clients, but it also improved their other application performances, which was very much appreciated by the customer. Maximize the return from your technology investment with best practices implementation. The other return on investments is, since your case is directly handled at the R&D function, we ensure speedy resolution with priority access to the R&D function. Deploy new systems more effectively. Let's say you have an office, and there is a decision made in the boardroom that we want to set up another office, a branch office somewhere. So if you want to deploy that, your technical account manager can work with you to develop a plan of action in deploying those clients. which will result in seamless deployment of new clients more effectively or new systems more effectively. On-site technical assistance by technical account manager during emergency situation. So all we need is wherever the client is, located, wherever the data center is, wherever the server is located, all we need is if there is an emergency situation, we need a 24 hours time or intimation. Once you qualify and your contract signing authority approves that yes, we want to use a technical account manager for this situation, our technical account manager will be with you within 24 hours. Post issue, you will have root cause analysis for continual development. Each and every case that you open with business critical services, you'll get a root cause analysis for that problem. Sometimes it might be an unknown issue or not related to the software, but we will still give you a root cause analysis for each and every problem, which is a proactive service in our BCS only. We would deliver the best, and you will be able to deliver best end user experience and improve client satisfaction by having future support problems. Let's say there are a lot of issues in your environment, you do a health checkup and we found out or gave you some of the recommendations which leads to resolving a lot of other issues in your system. The user will be happy. He would not be coming and reporting the issue over and over again to your IT team, which would lead to improvement in the client satisfaction. So that was all about it. In conclusion, I would just like to say, this service, the business critical services for enterprises who cannot withstand much amount of downtime and who want an extra level of assurance from a very senior resource in Quick Heal. Nikhil, that was about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Rahul. This was a very informative session, and I hope all of our audience today has known an exclusive service that we have launched at Seqrite, which will not only help businesses grow and let you focus on your business goals rather than worrying about the security infrastructure at your organization. So indeed, and very informative session. Now, as I advised earlier, in case you have any questions, you can start typing them in the chat window, and we would take up all the questions that we have for today. In case you have questions for future, once we complete this webinar, you can write to us at bcs@seqrite.com, and Rahul and his team will help you find the answers to your queries at the earliest possible. If you'd like to follow us on Facebook, the URL is facebook.com/Seqrite. You can also follow us on our Twitter handle, which is twitter.com/Seqrite. Please visit us on our Google Plus page. The bit.ly URL for it is bit.ly/Seqrite Google Plus. If you can follow us on LinkedIn, it's linkedin.com/company/Seqrite. And this recording for this today's webinar would be hosted on our YouTube channel. The bit.ly URL for it is bit.ly/Seqrite YouTube. It's one word. If you'd like to know more about Seqrite products, the enterprise product category, different kind of products that we have for enterprise security, you can visit us at seqrite.com. We will now begin with the question and answer session. Okay.
Okay.
We have a very interesting question asked by many of your attendees today. A very important one, you see. It says, what is the pricing for BCS?
Okay. So I can see this question has been asked by Santosh Pawar. So Santosh, I will refer you, since it's a more of a commercial question, I would refer you to our sales team. However, I'll just give you a quick glimpse on what BCS portfolio can be. So there are three segregations in that BCS portfolio. One is business critical services basic, one is Business Critical Services Silver, and one is Business Critical Services Gold. So let's say you sign up for Business Critical Services Gold, then you'll have X number of on-site visits that are allowed in one contractual year. If you sign up for Gold, for Silver, it would have, it would depend. The number of on-site visits would vary, and so the service level would vary. So I would refer you to our sales team. Please forward your question to our sales team, and I'll be more than happy to answer that.
Okay. Okay, we have another question, and it's I think it's in line with the same question answered by you, Rahul.
Okay.
It says, how many on-site visits by a technical account manager are allowed in a year? Is there a restriction on the number of visits?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. So the number of on-site visits are restricted, but it depends on which BCS contract do you go for. If you go for a BCS Gold, then I think there are 4 on-site visits in a year, which are absolutely free. So we don't charge anything extra when we come on site. If you sign up for Gold, for Silver, then there are 2 on-site visits in a year. But let me remind you, these on-site visits are different than the account review. So there will be account review on-site. Apart from that, you'll have 4 on-site visits or 2 on-site visits depending on your contract. So yes, they are limited because we cannot have an on-site visit for each and every case that has been raised up in the environment. Our research and development center here is in Pune. However, if the customer, let's say, is in Bangladesh, or if the customer is in anywhere, any part of the world, we might not be able to send the technical account manager for each and every visit. So yeah, it is restricted, and it would depend on your contract is the answer for it.
There's another question related to the presentation that we had. The question is, are the proactive services limited to the proactive services mentioned in the presentation, or do we have more of them?
Okay, so so the proactive services that are mentioned in this presentation uh, are just a glimpse of what the proactive services can be. As I said in the beginning, as I mentioned in the beginning of my presentation, that this is a customizable support. So anything and everything that you would like us to do, that would be dealt in the product, proactive services. Let me give you an example for this, since it's a nice question. So one of our business critical customers, there were absolutely no issues. The functioning was smooth, but the customer came to us and said that our compliance, what it looks from the dashboard, our compliance is somewhere around 75%. And they had users spread across 6 locations. Some were VIP users, some were remote users, some users used to work from home, and this was sort of a complex setup. Now when we understood, what we did was we collected samples, or we collected randomly checked why are the machines not getting updated. Some machines were out of date for a month, some machines were out of date for a week. So we understood what is going on wrong. So we took sampling, we took some of the examples on a sampling basis. We identified what could be possible causes of it. We developed a patch, a comprehensive or a cumulative patch that was installed in their environment, and we were able to improve their compliance percentage to 95. The customer target was somewhere around 90, 92, 93%, but we got it under our proactive services. We got it on 95. So the support is absolutely customizable. It is not limited to the proactive services mentioned in the presentation.
Okay. Uh, we have an important question here. I think this is related to the reactive emergency situation. So the question is, what is the time required for a technical account manager to be on site in case of an emergency situation, in case of a reactive
Yeah.
emergency situation?
Yeah. So I already covered this, but not a problem. So in case of a reactive emergency situation, all we need is an intimation of 24 hours. Wherever the client is, we need an intimation of 24 hours. We will ensure our technical account manager is on site working with you to resolve that problem. So 24 hours is the answer for it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so there is another question. What happens if SLG is breached? So let me go to that page. Yeah. So as I said, your technical account manager is 24/7 available to you. However, there can be situations where he is busy or he's stuck up in some sort of issue uh, with another business critical services client. So you get the list of your technical account manager backup, your business critical escalation manager, your sales country director. So in case of SLG is breached, we are pretty confident that that would not be the case. But if it happens, you are free to reach to your BCS escalation manager or your sales country director. I would like to follow the hierarchy. So if you can directly pick up the phone and talk to your business critical escalation manager, he'll ensure someone is assigned to you from the business critical team right then and there.
Very well. Okay, let's see. We have another question.
Okay, the question is from Santosh again. Can Seqrite provide the hardware if needed for DR or any other replacement in a network? Santosh, the answer to this question is no. We would give you the requirement, what is required for a DR setup. Basically, DR does not come under delivery, under the software part of it. So since this is a service part of it, as a value add, we are giving you. We will be reviewing the plan of DR. We'll be sitting up with you to set up your DR. However, the hardware or the necessary software that has to be installed, that has to be taken care by you.
Although we can definitely give some recommendations to the customers.
Absolutely, we'll be giving complete recommendations to the customer in terms of where you can, what hardware is required, where you can get that hardware and stuff. We have a question from Vipin Kurana. Is there any free trial for BCS? Vipin, I'm afraid there is no free trial for BCS, but what I can still do is, we will review how big your account is. We'll understand what is, how many users are there. You please send this, please contact our sales team regarding this, and we'll be more than happy to assist you on this.
Just to inform our customers or attendees of today's webinar, in case you would like to reach out to our sales team, please write to them at corporate@seqrite.com. I will repeat, the email address for our sales team is corporate@seqrite.com.
I think there are no further questions.
Okay, I think we are done with questions for today. As I said earlier, in case you have more questions for us, please feel free to write to us at bcs@seqrite.com. You can address these questions directly to Rahul. So either Rahul or somebody from his team will get back to you with the answers at the earliest possible. I thank you, all the attendees for today, and Rahul for giving us this wonderful presentation and a knowledgeable one on BCS, Seqrite BCS, proactive and customized support for business enterprise. Thank you very much for joining us today. You all have a great weekend. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you.